towards the end, what did he say?
It says Harari also pointed out that none of the past dictators and tyrants could do this because they did not have the required technology.
So they're calling themselves they're the new dictators, the new tyrants. That's Esau revealing themselves. You know, but they'll say, oh, it's a democracy and you have a freedom of speech and you have a choice and all that stuff. No, they're going to dictate this C-hip to you. All right, they're going to coerce you. They're going to manipulate you. They're going to make it sound. They're going to make it sound good. But it's point blank. They're going to make it sound. This thing is going to make your life that much easier. And the system is really already set up. It's just a matter of them putting a little finishing touches on it, and that's it. You know,
only a devil could try to make your captivity, your hell, you know, slavery, and having no self-sovereignty, you know, no independence, no privacy. He can make that sound very appealing.
Oh yeah.
Like that's going to be such a great thing for you and your family and your future. He's the devil, he's just trying to sell his warped desire onto you.
Yeah, America, you're gonna wake up eventually, man. Yeah, you're gonna wake up. You know, they waking up over there in France, man, burning shit down, man.
Exactly.
You know, it's gonna come right over here to America. Once Esau started causing this famine and start starving you people out, man, that's when you're gonna wake up to a whole host of reality, man.
And that was the point I want to make. The MOTV is going to be the answer to everything problems that you have on Earth, but he's creating these problems to force you into needing him to answer.
Problem with Hegelian dialectic.
Hegelian dialectic.
Yeah.
The Apostle Ramlab, that was an old lesson I was watching this week, and the elders were going in on the C-hip, MOTB, and in case you use the term, he said permanent perpetual slave.
Yeah.
That's what you become when you accept this man's mark. You know, you're going to be a permanent, undying slave to this man. You know, and they give us this. You know, we know we're slaves and we're under captivity right now. But if you don't want to go to work, you don't got to go to work. You could lead a country. You could do with this system that they're implementing. You won't have any freedoms. But they're giving you that illusion that you got freedom where you got a choice. You won't have a choice. Go to your job, go home, buy this many amount of groceries, put this amount of gas in your car, and that's it. Esau's putting a limit. He's putting a limit on everything. You know, and he gives a say so what you can do and what you can't do.
And his excuse is the carbon footprint.
Yep, that part.
Right now, let me. This brother gave me this quote. I think it's a meme or something like that. Right? I'll show it to you after I read it. It says, "Go to school, get a job, go to work, get married, have some kids, pay your taxes, pay your bills, watch TV, listen to the news, obey the law. Now repeat after me, I am free." Now repeat after me.
Yeah, that's why you gotta have a license for every damn thing. That's why you got a social security card, birth certificate.
God.
You know, all them are forms, all right, that the elites, you know, put on the citizens, man. They look at you people as cattle. You know, you're just basically living organisms that make them money, man.
And what do they
give them power?
When you look at cattle, yeah, they're free-range cattle, right? Free-range.
Right.
But there's fences.
God.
You know, whether they're aware of the fence or not, they eventually are once they start wandering off. But there's a fence at the end of the day.
They're still bounded.
They're still bounded by something.
And if they go outside of that fence, that owner can claim them because he has a mark, he has a stamp on them. You know.
I mean, it ain't nothing wrong with you having boundaries and limits, but the boundary needs to be set by Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Right.
But not the fucking so-called white man.
Right.
Can I finish reading this, verse 16 and 17? Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor.
This is his level of boundaries that you're about to read into. You got it, bro.
And he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
That's a physical mark. It's not a spiritual mark. Okay. It's not seen. It ain't a picture of Edomite Jesus or Cesare Borgia. It's a physical mark. So all these Israelite groups out here telling you the wrong thing. We, you know, it's a device. It's the size of a grain of rice. You know, it ain't, you know, all this bugged out shit people saying.
Here's the crazy part about that breakdown. They always have these other breakdowns of what it is, or that it ain't this and what else it is, right? But they can tell you what this thing is. They can never tell you about the C-hip though. And how, and it's something of this proportion put in everybody. They can't tell you how serious that is.
Some of them will try to like water it down and say they'll try to slip it in there like, well, it's part of it, but it ain't the it ain't the overall. But the scripture is very clear what it is.
Yeah.
It's precise in speaking about.
It's very direct and precise on what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if
and the main purpose, well, the next verse will tell you the main purpose is used for.
The main function of what this mark, the whole purpose and function for this mark and what it entails. It tells you directly in the next verse. Mm-hmm. So how could you confuse it with anything else? Right. Go ahead.
Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is the wisdom. Let him have understanding, count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
You want to put his number on as a what? As an identification marker. You got to identify your servants, your slaves. You know, what better way than to do that than to actually put a digital number on them? GPS put them in a system. Yeah. See, and during chattel slavery, they didn't have all this technology, so they had, you know, boundaries. They put yokes of iron on our neck. They showed you in that movie Life when they went to the prison. They had the gun line. So if you was a prisoner in that area, you had boundary lines. If you got outside that line, they was gonna put you out to death. He doesn't need a gun line. He doesn't need, you know, boundary lines. Now he has the grid. He can identify you wherever anywhere in the earth. He can pretty much identify you now.
Brothers, remember the movie Hunger Games?
Yep.
You know, when they was in basically when they actually go up into the system, but before that they had to get the chip in them. And in the basically the overseers, because I believe that's what they were called, they had them all marked by GPS locations. They knew their whereabouts. They had the cameras everywhere, and they was tracking them the whole time.
Yeah, about the 666, read in verse 17, it goes to the Greek chi sigma.
Yeah, chi sigma.
You know, which basically stigma. Have you seen that movie Stigmata? Yep. You know, where basically it's an older movie in the 90s. You know, basically this woman, you know, got, you know, I should say a demon on her or some shit. You know, claiming that she's the Lord and got, you know,
had the marks in her hands.
Yeah, marks in her hands. You know, well, that's basically what stigma is. What stigmata is. You know, impalement in your skin. You know, something impaling your skin. You know,
and one of the definitions is engraved, which basically means to cut into the surface of a thing.
That's the root word of
Karak, fail stake, or palisade.
Yeah, good.
Which the marks of the Lord was where we got nailed to
the instrument. Yeah, the instrument used.
And we were talking about the dragon, which is the Roman Empire, reincarnated to today. But during the Roman Empire, they had a system similar to that, the system they're trying to make, you know, enforce now, where they had, I forgot the name of it, like a tablet. When they had like marks on it, that was your identification. And everyone had that tablet. They had, you know, it was used for, you know, for damn near everything. Your identification, commerce. So they're
modern day license, modern day
right.
birth certificate, modern day Social Security.
But like the brother was saying about their technology, they have the technology advancements now where they can, you know, fulfill this, you know, digital system, you know, globally.
I was just gonna mention that open world games, like you're talking about her games. They say it's an open world game.
Yeah, kind of.
But there's boundaries.
Yeah, we don't get into that.
There's boundaries, and sometimes
digital platform.
pass certain tasks, you can open up another level of that world.
Yeah.
Well, just because it look like it keeps going, don't mean you can keep like what's that movie with what's the crazy wacky dude from Living Color, the white dude?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey was a movie that he was in. They was watching his life.
Truman Show.
The Truman Show. He found the edge. He was like, "Hey, wait, there's a door right here. Like, what the hell is this?" You know, it's all a facade, man. His whole life is a facade. And just like in the movie The Matrix, it tells you that it's all to trick you, to turn you into a source of power to give to them. Okay, they analogize it down to a battery, but to run their technology, you know, they need it. It's in Black Mirror as well. Y'all got it.
I had a quick script. It's Job 13:27 in the NLT. It says, "You put my feet in stocks," basically in slavery. "You examine all my paths, you trace all my footprints." And that's what they're going to be able to do on a global scale with this technology. To trace and track every move that you make.
And they do that right now to a certain extent, as far as your debit card transactions, your cell phone, how it pings off different towers and stuff, but they want the ultimate access.
The internet too.
Yeah.
They can track everything you do online.
Yeah, because you can throw away your phone and go off grid or whatever, but they want you on the grid, man.
Yeah.
Yep. And then where it says footprint, go into the Hebrew, the word is chakwa, and it says in a definition, to carve, to cut in, to engrave, which are the same definition for karakter.
Did it go into, is it Kwar?
Well, Kwakwa, yeah.
Like the digital footsteps, pretty much.
Yeah. So this is what they're doing with this new system. You know, people not paying attention because they too busy getting, you know, entertained. They're getting high, drunk. You know, they got their eyes on the wrong shit.
They're too busy basically being sucked into the system, where it's like the frog in the pot. They don't even know that. Yeah, like they don't. You didn't realize when your credit card company sent you a different credit card with a chip in it now, and you got to put your chip in the credit card reader now, and you can swipe your phone. They didn't. You can tap now. You just tap with the credit card. People didn't realize what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, people are not even using cash anymore like that.
Yeah.
That's just an outdated thing now. They done got you so conditioned to not using cash. Yeah. And now while you're so conditioned to not using cash, the banks, JP Morgan and them, they talking about, hey, like 57 billion is gonna exit the banking system.
Yeah.
Well, huh?
Yeah, 57 billion?
Yeah.
What?
Just like that.
Yeah.
They finna do away with cash, man.
Yeah, I went to the grocery store yesterday on my way in with Jake out there. Hey man, you got $1? And you know, I'm like, oh fuck. You know, I'd have hit him with a couple dollars, whatever I had in my pocket, but I didn't have nothing in my pocket. You know, when do you ever? And then we just seen videos of chicks trying to deposit money into their bank. You get robbed.
Yeah.
So that's part of the tightening the system up to where you don't want to use cash. You can't get robbed for it. You gotta have codes and shit to different other levels of security. So this is all to solve certain issues.
He can exploit that to say, see, this is why we need to be digital.
Convenience.
They said,
it's convenient for you.
I would say they try to say that the C-19 was on the money. Remember?
Yeah.
You know, it's on the money. You know, it's another way to make us safe.
Where the C-19 at?
Yeah.
It fucking disappeared with the flu. God damn.
Yep, that air flu's on run. But I got the slippers right now.
Yeah, good.
Right.
I got some.
Oh, I
you
got
said
some.
you gonna bring out that bill, right?
Yeah.
It's two bills. It's two of them.
Well, before we read that, I got some too. You have some, Z?
I was gonna go on Revelation 14, but
well, let me read this right quick here. This is Sirach chapter 12. I'm gonna start in verse 10, of course. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness."
Yeah.
He's talking about reparations and stuff. They got you focusing on all the other things, and then there's people. What's that? Not ADOS. What's the other thing that they're talking about? The critical race theory. Yeah. Some people want to go into it, some don't want to. They got all these other things for you